Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Maitri and I'm very passionate about tabletop and I'm learning to be a better GM, a better player, and a better person. And I want to share with you some of the cool stuff that I've been learning. Today we're going to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, how to run better horror games. Basically, I've found three ways that make horror really land for me and as a player, and I've tried to use it at my tables and it's landed pretty well there as well, so I wanted to share. I freaking love running and playing horror, so this is really for those other GMs and players, GMs specifically, who also really love horror. And if you have players who enjoy playing horror or enjoy having their characters unsettled. Number one, give the horror a desire. Spooky shit is so much more interesting when it's more than just spooky. Let it want something. Sure, random and chaotic scaring us in a place of great evil, like, that for sure has its purpose. But outside of that, you know, giving your horror purpose gives it power, at least narratively. A spirit that demands a confession is a whole vibe and so much more intense than just a spirit. Because now it's not just what is this thing, which is fine for surface horror and spooky vibes, but this is the kind of horror that sticks with you. The kind that you might even think about after that, because now it's beyond just what is this thing, like I said. It's about, why does it want me? Is it following me? What did I do? What did I fail to do? And it becomes this whole thing, and it gives a lot of depth with this one element. Number two, make it personal, not just lethal. I'm gonna have a longer video about this because I actually feel like it is worth talking about a little bit more. But fundamentally, it's not super difficult to make something dangerous, and there's absolutely scariness to a faceless monster, but a faceless monster that's wearing PC's sister's wedding ring, that's a problem. And you don't have to have all the answers, but guaranteed your players are kind of gonna knot themselves up and scare themselves more than you ever could. And all you need is this one additional detail. And because what they're gonna think about is, what does this thing connect to? What does it remind them of? What guilt is it echoing? So horror sticks when it's about the characters, not just something that's happening to them. For bonus points, give it a name. One that matters. Because in horror like this, recognition matters. So calling it something like, the Pale One or the Shadow Priest, like, for sure that gives it flavor. But calling it Jonah, the person they left behind, that gives it weight. You hear the lock click, and then you hear his voice, Jonah's, like the night you said goodbye. That's not just an enemy, that's a decision they made that they've been trying to outrun and now they have to reckon with. And you don't have to change your stat block, you don't have to change abilities, you don't have to change behaviors, nothing. It's just a little bit of added detail to the introduction that hits hard. You don't need to be cruel. they can eventually figure out it's not just some malevolent spirit kind of toying with them, but like in a minute. Because that's the whole point of building trust and having consent checks and whatnot, is so that you can go hard in moments like these and give people who like horror and who like feeling that kind of like unsettled something worth being scared about. Number 3, force a cost. The best horror isn't about defeating a thing, it's about deciding what you're willing to give up. Anyone can fight a monster. What lies way harder is a choice they cannot fight their way out of. I don't want to give any spoilers, but 2 characters in the Call of Cthulhu game I'm in, myself included, myself and another character, have to deal with some pretty horrific choices right now. I've made one choice, and he is more than likely going to make the other choice, but I don't know yet. The horror is not just a thing we've had to get into with. The horror has been made manifest in the cost of dealing with it. These moments really stick because they shift horror into decision making. And now it's not just about threatening your character's life, it is threatening their identities, their values, their relationships, really everything that makes them who they are. You can't charm or stab your way out of it. You have to choose what matters to you and what you are willing to give up. That's where the fear lives, in the tension between 2 bad options that are all you have, and that will hit super hard because now the horror isn't just an obstacle, but almost a mirror sort of reflecting back at you the cost of who you want to be. Here's some tangible examples that you can use in the game. 1, a door that saves you but shuts behind you. The decision the character is making, do you walk through knowing you cannot go back for the others? Are you trusting they have the same choice you do? And so on. Number 2, an artifact that silences the ghost forever, but only if you say they deserved what happened, which was a lie. The question the PC has decided: are you willing to rewrite history to end this haunting? Are you willing to sacrifice someone else for your goals, essentially? Number 3, a choice between killing the creature or letting it live so it can take vengeance on someone who wronged you. As a player, the choice is: can you live with knowing you didn't do what you have wanted? Maybe secretly wanted, but wanted. These are not traps, they are invitation to define a character. Moments for character growth, if nothing else. Anyway, that's all I had. If you like this video, consider subscribing. But if you don't like notifications or subs, I do have a backlog of stuff. I'll also have an audio-only podcast format with transcripts and a written blog if that works better from an app accessibility perspective. I'm also on a few APs, links to all of that in the description, including that Call of Cthulhu one I mentioned. Otherwise, thank you so much for hanging out. Come and see me again soon. Bye.